Matthew Hussey, a renowned female dating coach, has this to say about the current climate of dating between men and women and mentions some powerful transformative thoughts that you need to take from this.
Tell him I got the juice.
The same news, the same macro weather report is being absorbed by a lot of other people that are in the dating market. So this is a mental model I learned from David Goggins, and he was saying it's so easy to be great nowadays because most people are weak. And Dana White said something similar, which was he advises his sons, if you are even remotely a savage, you will run these people over because the bar is set so low. So think about the fact that there are some challenging times and some turbulence in the dating market, which causes a lot of people to have a sense of they abandon any personal agency that they have. I can't affect this. I'm at the mercy of the weather and it's going to blow me around. Okay. Reverse that and think the bar is set so low because almost everybody else believes this. So if I put a tiny nanogram of effort into what I do, I will separate myself out from the pack. It's the same thing with guys that are struggling with attraction. I'm like, if you go to the gym 3 times a week for a year, you are probably in the top percentile of all men on the planet with regards to fitness. 180 minutes a week for a year. Like the bar is set so low for this stuff. And it is easy for you to separate yourself out from the pack.
Yeah, I love that. So again, he's going to pretty much introduce Matthew Hussey's response from this. But basically, because the bar is set so low in correlation to the dating relationship space, that it's easy to separate yourself from the crowd. And all it takes is a small amount of effort in order to do that.
When you talk about that kind of, that whole group of guys that feel invisible, feel overlooked, I always think, what game is someone playing? Like, what's the outcome? If the outcome is, I want to sleep with as many people as possible, and I want to be the life and soul of the party, I want to be the person that has the most animal attraction, then you're going to struggle because not everyone gets to have that.
Yep.
But if your goal is, I actually want to meet someone who's awesome. I want to meet someone I can have an amazing life with. I want to meet someone I can build with. It doesn't actually matter how many people find you attractive. It matters that you find someone who thinks you're awesome. Now, if you come from a place where you're so busy focused on how shallow some women are, or how much some women will only date up or will only date across, or what, if you're focused on that, that is going to dictate your whole life because you're going to be miserable, you're going to be resentful, you're going to be bitter. If instead you go, you know what, there are people for whom someone showing up with confidence, with kindness, with a boldness, because you don't have to be, being bold doesn't mean having money.
Ooh.
Doesn't mean being successful outwardly. Being bold can just be, I'm bold in life. You're someone who has a level of courage. You're someone who has a really beautiful level of loyalty. I know there are guys who are going to listen to everything I'm saying right now, and they're going to roll their eyes.
And those of you who might be catching this and rolling your eyes, please stick around. Stick around. There's so much juice that he's sharing in this. Listen, this is the polarity effect. This is literally what that is in every way, shape, and form with relationships today. You can either focus on the lack, focus on the shallow things, focus on all these stories that people use to project how they think their relationships will go based on somebody else's experience who they don't know. We can focus on the lack all day, or we can focus on the abundance. You can focus on meeting other people, knowing that there are other people who are carrying the values that we do, have similar interests that we do. And so we can use that and focus on the abundance of it and not just get so wrapped up in all of these terrible stories that, although be it real life, that doesn't have to be your experience, nor does that have to be an experience you use to project onto others or onto yourself how your relationships are going to turn out. And there's certain priorities that you want to put in order. And I think we just got the game messed up because we prioritize the shallow things over what's really important.
They're going to be like, try dating, try actually going out there and dating. If you're me, there will be those people, but I actually believe that. I really believe that. I really believe that, you know, there are people in my company that if they left tomorrow might be able to go and get paid more somewhere. I can't stop that. I can't stop a bigger, more attractive company coming along and going, we're going to pay you double and give you more this and more that. I can't stop it, and I can't compete with it. I cannot. I can't be the sexiest company in the world. I just in my bones believe that the people that I'm supposed to work with long term are the people that see how much I love them, how loyal I am to them, how much I actually care about them, that I mean it when I say something, that when I say I'm serious about a long-term relationship with them, I mean it. I know they could go to another company tomorrow and that person promises them the world, and then 6 months later they're kicked out. Because that's how that company is like, yeah, we'll give you the world, but we're also going to get rid of you if you don't live up to every single one of these. I know that. So I can't play the game of being the sexiest company in the world. But I can play the game of attracting people with the values that I have, that they will value. And the people that I want working for me long term are the people whose values actually match.
Talk your
with mine.
talk.
Dating is no different.
Ah!
You may not be Apple in the dating world. I'm not Apple in the business world. But your values, they really, with the right people, they will be the thing that makes someone go, yeah, of course I could be with a guy with more money. Of course I could be with a guy who's taller. Of course I could be.
Here come.
What? I'd be insane to give that up for what I get with you.
Oh my God. Bro, please get that. Please get that. It's going to be the very thing that separates you from the crowd. Not your money, not what you own materially. It's not going to be all these things that everybody's trying to tell you you have to have in order to. No, it's going to be your character. What kind of man are you? How do you want to be remembered with the people that you encounter and the impact that you leave on them? That is what changes the game. That's what changes the game. I'm going to bring up 2 passages of scriptures right now before wrapping up with a few others at the end to kind of help us remain along the lines of what he's sharing. See, y'all think this random. This stuff ain't random. We got Bible for this. Matthew 5:36, and do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even one hair white or black. All you need to say is simply yes or no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one. In other words, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Let's go to James 5:12. This is actually what we literally just said. James 5:12 tells us this. Look. Above all, my brothers and sisters, do not swear, not by heaven or by earth or by anything else. All you need to say is a simple yes or no. Otherwise, you'll be condemned. It's literally the same thing that Jesus says in Matthew chapter 5 in Sermon on the Mount. That's a biblical principle that I want to stand on my word, that I want to be a man of my word. And that this is something that you are actively growing in, progressing in, moving forward in. It's not to say that you won't have moments where your yes won't be yes, but we're not intentionally staying there. We're not being wishy-washy. Character of consistency, that matters. I can see you don't believe me yet. So let's look at another passage of scripture. Proverbs 22 verse 1. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. So to all of y'all who think money is the move and you have to have X amount of dollars to be considered a valuable on the dating market and all this other kind of stuff, like what we do is we take these terrible stories that people have experienced, no doubt, but then we generalize that and we associate that to being something that we're supposed to experience or that we should expect to experience. But that's not real. This is what matters. A good name. You know what that also stands for? Character. Who do you want to be remembered as, my guy? Straight up. That's what separates you. That's what actually builds the attraction. That's what allows someone to end up with a statement that he just ended and said, hey, yo, yes, I could get more. I could get more here. I could get more there, but I would be a dummy to do that for what I get with you. That y'all, that I'm telling you, that is golden. Come on, come get blessed. Do not be yoked together with unbelievers, for what do righteousness and wickedness have in common, or what fellowship can light have with darkness? Says 2 Corinthians 6:14. So we're talking about equally yoked, right? Matching value systems, matching belief systems. Somebody who cares for the things I care for. This is what's going to build the substance, the maturity, the foundation for the relationship you ultimately want. Yet we're just trying to compare pockets and first date lists instead of actually putting the things that matter most. And that's what's leaving so many men in places of frustration, because we've just got our priorities out of order.
And there'll be some guys who listen to that and go, oh, so I'm the consolation because they'd rather be with this tall, that blah. That's insecurity talking. Because no one has everything. No one. And that's you coming from the frame of reference that guy's height matters more than the values you have. There's you coming from the frame of reference that guy's money matters more than the values you have. You've bought into that. And that's why it bothers you. That's why you feel like you're the consolation prize. It's because you believe it. So you have to stop believing that. And I'm not talking, this isn't like, I want people to understand this. I'm not talking about some soft, like, believe in yourself mindset. I'm really saying that this to me is the real stuff. This to me is like, you're tall inside.
Let him cook now.
You have a tall personality. You have tall values. When someone feels that from you and they feel that that energy is real, it's crazy how much for so many people, what they thought they cared about yesterday starts to actually disintegrate.
Let him cook.
And so what if you start going through life, instead of being the person that confirms everyone's suspicions that those things matter more, what if you were the person that made them disintegrate? Because meeting you was like this, it like changed someone's paradigm on what's actually important. And that is a thing that anyone can do, anyone. But you have to actually live by those values that I'm talking about. And you might have to make peace with playing a longer game, because it can take time for people to realize how important those things are. Someone tall, hot, and handsome or whatever doesn't sneak up on you. They walk through the door and a lot of people go, okay, this seems like someone I'd want to talk to. But some of the things I'm talking about, they sneak up on you. But when they land, it can change someone's world. I have, in my own life, started to, in the last few years, really just let go of, whatever, the kind of comparisons that I might have made in the past, or the thing for myself where I thought I didn't live up to that, or I wasn't this, I'm an introvert. I'm not life and soul of the party. I'm life and soul when I'm standing on stage because I'm good at public speaking. But put me in a party, I'm no longer life and soul. I never have been. I'm never going to be. It's not who I am. There was a time when that bothered me. I was like, I should probably learn some more social skills that make me the life and soul of the party. I want to be that guy who can, like, at a certain point in my life, I said, I don't care. I just don't care. And for the kind of person that wants me to be that, for me to be in their lives, that really isn't my person, not my friend. It's not my male friend. And I started to learn that I'm appreciated for other things that I maybe never registered were important, or things I never thought were important about me. I started to realize, that's it. Those are the things. Let me focus on that, because spending all this time focusing on, is a better looking guy going to walk in the room? Is someone with more going to walk in the room? You can play that game forever. And there always will be, by the way. There'll always be a Chris Williamson who shows up with bigger biceps. It's like, it's just the way it is. But when your worth is not rooted in that, it's the most liberating thing in the world.
Bro, I'm just trying to put you on the game because that ninja was talking. Let me, bro, look. You want to know where you can find that at? Putting your trust and faith in Jesus. That's what's going to make the difference. Yes, physical attractiveness, we've talked about it here. That's important. 1000%. That's what brings them in. But you know what's going to let you stand apart is your character, your values, how you carry yourself as a man, and allowing your temperature to be set on things of truth, on sources of love, joy, peace, patience, meekness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. That is what's going to do it. You set the tone, not because of what was in your pockets, not because of the size of your biceps, but because of who you are, how you represent yourself. And the people who don't accept that does not then give them permission to change you. That just means that they weren't the right person for you. So where are you going to put your focus at? Are you going to allow all these social media trends of all these people telling you what women are looking for, what men are looking for, and what high value man is? Are you going to let all of that rule your mind to the point where you're going to play the game of, man, she's going to upgrade for me. She's going to do all this kind of stuff. Like, that is a stressful life. You don't find rest there. You know where you do find rest? In Christ. Matthew 11:28-30. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden. I will give you rest. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. So come on, get your rest, man. Stop all the tripping. Stop all the bugging. Stop that. Come get you some rest. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. So be careful what you're listening to. Be careful what you're giving your ear to. Be careful the company you keep, because it can be a direct reflection of how you're viewing relationships, how you're carrying yourself. This is a good indication of the character and value system you possess and the type of character that you're trajected to continue keeping. So then I also want you to see this, because this all has to do with the right things to look for in people and to build up. This is Proverbs 31. Everyone knows this as the chapter and verse of the Proverbs 31 woman. But look at this character of this woman. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. So it's already admitted she's beautiful, easy on the eyes, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. That is a woman who has a foundation is deeper than skin. It's a foundation that is based on truth and one that you can build on. And that's the foundation you want to carry, one that's able to be built on, not one made of sand, but one made of solid rock. And that great rock, solid rock being Christ. You guys remember Ruth too? Ruth, the book of Ruth, Boaz and Ruth. What made Boaz so appealing to Ruth as she came into the field and started gleaning, and he didn't send her away, but welcomed her onto the staff and was orchestrating all these kinds of things, left food for her to take back to Naomi. And we know how the rest of that book plays out. God's hand all in the midst. You know what made Boaz stand out? His character. You know what made Ruth stand out? Her character. So please look no further than your character, than your value system, and finding that in someone else in order to create healthy, happy, whole biblical relationships. That is how you get it done. So I appreciate you guys so much for tuning into this. I love this reaction. Y'all let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts? Do you agree, disagree, indifferent? Let me know. I want to hear all about it. And until our next conversation, be easy and be breezy, my friends. Peace.